We are January 23rd, 2011. I'm your host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis, and you're listening to Technology Questions Answered, Episode 17, Choosing Your Portable Device. And we'll also be talking about Spam Wars, a continuation from last week, our browser toolbar, powered by Conduit.com, the Subscribe and Win contest, and how to choose your digital portable device. We're going to be talking about the pros, the cons, and each of their uses. So let's start off with the laptop. The traditional laptop contains a keyboard, some sort of kangaroo pad, actually based from the old technology, which is a track plate, and the screen. Most of them also have webcams. Now, the pros are you can play games, do spreadsheets, do word processing. You can access the internet by various methods, some of these being LTE, 3G, WiMAX. You can tether to a cell phone, and you can even connect to the wall using a phone line or RJ45, also known as the Ethernet cable. Now, you can get interchangeable batteries. Some laptops can have a second battery in them. You have optical drives, interchangeable hard drives, multimedia ports, such as the Express port, multiple USB, I'm pretty sure I just said that. Some of them also have FireWire for those like me that do video. We also can have outputs to other screens and TVs with VGA and HDMI ports. In other words, they have a lot of features. Now the cons are battery life. The screen, which is actually very, very fragile, so don't drop them. You can actually break them, but they're also very shiny. So in bright sunlight, you can't even see them. You have to turn the brightness up all the way up. Excuse me. And on top of all that, if you drop them, they're very expensive to fix. Now, keeping in mind, they are very useful anyway. You may actually need a computer to connect the other devices I'll talk about to a computer, such as maybe your laptop or your desktop. So let's talk about another device with a similar form factor, the netbook. Well, the netbook, same thing. They sometimes have webcams, screens, keyboards, and a track plate to be used as a mouse. You can't connect the mouse to either one of those devices, by the way. On most models, you can also connect by Ethernet, and you'll have wireless. Some of them even have 3G and maybe in the future 4G access. We'll have to see about that. Internal speakers and a similar to laptop battery life, although that does depend on the laptop. If your laptop has a singular battery, we're talking about 1 to 3 hours, depending on how much processor you're actually taking. If I put my laptop into high, I've got approximately an hour and a half of battery, and if I put into power saver mode, and at the middle so-called automatic mode, I can get up to about almost 3 hours battery life. It is the same thing with my netbook, except it does it automatically. Detects the power port when it's being connected to AC, puts the processors into overdrive. If you unplug it, it goes into automatic power save. At least that. Now, what are the cons of a netbook? Well, like I said for the laptop, the screen. If it's shiny, you can't see it in sunlight. It's also fragile. And if it has a conventional hard drive, it also may be susceptible to damage if it hits the floor. Fortunately, a lot of netbooks, like the one I have, which is an Asus EPC, have a solid-state drive. Not impervious to dropping, but at least from certain heights, there's less risk of being damaged. So, on to the next device, which would be the tablets. You do have two types. You got the full screen tactile color screen, like the iPad and and the BlackBerry. Hold on, they call it Playbook. And you have other devices from HTC and other companies like Dell and Acer and all that. Well, you can always go on their websites and see them, but the overgeneralized view would be full color screen tactile and usually 7 to 10 inches. Now, you also have the Amazon Kindle class, the eink family. Now, let's talk about eink for a minute. Eink, for some of you people that don't know what it means, is basically just like our old calculators, except that the pixel density is far greater. Now, This means you can read it very easily in the sunlight because they actually have a textured screen with no backlight, just a white plate behind it, and it actually shows up very clearly, very easy to read, very good on battery life because there is no backlight whatsoever. You can actually get several days or weeks out of it. Now, the other side, like the HTC, the BlackBerry Playbook, and the iPad, those family, you actually have a full color backlit screen. This means a lot less power battery life. Now, what does this mean for you? Not very much. If you have a smartphone and you're already capable of plugging your cell phone in every day with no problem whatsoever, you can plug those in. You shouldn't have a problem, as long as you don't overabuse like most people do on the first day of having your toys. Now, let's bring up this point. Portable devices do not necessarily have user-accessible interchangeable batteries, which means if it dies, it's dead. A lot of them have solid-state hard drives in them, and they're inaccessible, so you can't change them at all either. So, if you're going to get one of these devices, you're going to have to remember one thing. With the exclusion of the Kindle, which I already know has an extremely long battery life, any tactile screen like the iPad that you have, you better make sure it's charged when you leave, because you're going to find yourself in a very good predicament. And I'm talking about good for them, not good for us. You may have to actually buy adapters and all that, and extra types of battery packs that you would stick to the back of the machine or carry in your pocket from third-party companies to allow you to charge a device on the go, or you have to plug it into your car. All of this can be annoying. Now, that is the cons. What are the pros? Very easy. Wireless. The Kindle has 3G, and the other devices have 3G. Some of them will have 4G. Some already have access to LTE and WiMAX. That means they're extremely portable. Now, if you're a student or a business person and you need to do some typing, they have on-screen keyboards. Don't like the on-screen keyboard idea? Well, some of them have base stations, depending on the manufacturer, and that means you can actually get a keyboard for them and actually start typing. Now, if you're a student and you like that idea, that's great. Get yourself the base station, plug it in, start typing. Now, my suggestions would actually be that if you need to read a book and you don't want to buy a book, get an Amazon Kindle. Now, the reason being, they're very easy to read and long battery life. Now, if you want to watch movies, go onto the internet, and basically do entertainment type stuff, go for the tablets. Now, they don't have keyboards, but if you don't need a keyboard, you don't need to have a keyboard. And you can always have the option of the on-screen keyboard or buying a base station to actually plug in a keyboard in itself that you may seldomly use. Now, if you're a student or a work professional, you may actually need either the laptop or the netbook. Let me remind you, if you want to be taken seriously in a business meeting, you're going to need the laptop because it's actually easier to write in and bigger screen. A lot of the projection hardware may not actually plug into the netbook, but they will plug into laptops. All laptops, at least on the grand majority, let's say about 99%, do have a VGA out, and most projectors for business and school still use a VGA plug. Some newer laptops also have an HDMI out, which means you can also use some newer types of projectors, or at least the HDMI projector ports. Now, if you're a technician, programmer, game designer, anything like that, you will need a laptop. If you're a student, though, you can go with the laptop or the netbook, and you'll be fine. Now, on to the subscribe and win contest. Like I said, if I have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel or in my message board, or total, One lucky person who registers through my contact form on my website at zedAxis.net may actually win a $100 MasterCard gift card, in Canadian value by the way, when I actually announce the winner on February 6, 2011 on that day's TQA episode. All you need to do is be Canadian or American, 18 years old, subscribe to either my channel or my message board, and maintain your membership until February 5th, 2011, midnight Eastern Time. I will declare the winner the very next day, if and only if I have 1,000 people that actually became members or subscribers. Now, onto the spam wars issue. ReCAPTCHA has apparently been fixed. So the whole score is Steve 1, spammers 0. I have actually reprogrammed the form site to actually require certain pieces of information that you cannot get by using externalized forms. So, if any of you have a GoDaddy.com hosting account that's Linux, email me and I'll actually send you a copy of the script to protect yourself from any future spam or reCAPTCHA failures. Now, the reason why I'm not posting this anywhere is if I post the script, spammers will try to break the code. So, please bear in mind, email me, I'll email you it, but I'm not posting it anywhere, and please don't post it anywhere. Now, on to the last detail of the day, the Conduit toolbar, our web browser toolbar that we actually have. Now, bearing in mind, we use this toolbar as a supplement aid of navigation. You don't need to download it, but it's very interesting. You have instantaneous access to all our podcasts and every single section of our website without typing anything in. We have something called the message box, where we may post any future contests and information in the future. You can listen to our podcasts while you browse the internet, and you can even have access to pop-up blockers and email notification software. And what are you talking about, Steve? Is this thing actually private and keeping ourselves private? I guarantee it. Go onto my website, view just below our webcasts screen from YouTube, the section for toolbar where it says download. Hit the privacy link and it will explain everything to you. We will not track any URLs you type into your web browser. We only add this service for you so you can actually access our website faster and more easily. And in the future we may add other features that actually implement better experience for you. Now, if you have any other suggestions for the toolbar, you can send it to us through our contact form. We'll add anything you people want as long as the toolbar does not become a giant mess. So, if you want to download our toolbar, head over to our website at www.zedAxis.net and go to the middle of the page and you will actually see the information required. You may also go to the menu where it says try our toolbar in yellow and actually go to the download page where everything will be explained for you. And this has been Technology Questions Answered. Let's see you next week. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.